The Pied Piper of Hamelin. Once upon a time, in the peaceful town of Hamelin, there was a terrible problem. The town was overrun with rats. They scurried through the streets, invaded homes, and ruined the food stores of the villagers. No one knew how to rid the town of the rats, and the people grew desperate. The rats were everywhere. At night they made a terrible noise, and during the day they caused chaos wherever they went. The mayor and the town leaders called a meeting to discuss what could be done about the rats. They offered a large reward to anyone who could rid the town of the rodents once and for all. Many people tried, but none succeeded. Some used traps, others tried poison, but the rats just kept multiplying more and more each day. One day, a stranger appeared in the town. He was dressed in a coat of many bright, colorful stripes, and his hat was adorned with a feather. He carried a pipe and looked like a musician, but there was something mysterious about him. The townspeople were skeptical at first, but when they heard that he could help with the rat problem, they listened closely. "I can help you," the stranger said with a smile. "I am the Pied Piper. I will rid your town of rats, but only if you promise to pay me a fair price for my services." The mayor, desperate and eager to be rid of the rats, agreed immediately. "We will give you anything you ask for once the rats are gone," he promised, believing the task would be simple. With that, the Pied Piper raised his pipe to his lips and began to play a sweet, enchanting melody. The sound was so beautiful and magical that the rats, drawn by the music, began to emerge from every corner of the town. They followed the piper, enchanted by his tune, as he led them to the river. There, with one final note, the rats jumped into the water and drowned, swept away by the current. The townspeople were overjoyed. They cheered and praised the Pied Piper for his incredible skill. But when the piper came to the mayor to collect his payment, the mayor had a change of heart. "The town is already in debt," he said, "and we cannot afford to pay you the amount we promised. We will give you a fraction of the reward instead." The Pied Piper was furious. He had done what he was hired to do, and now the town leaders were going back on their word. He warned the mayor and the townspeople, "You have broken your promise. Now you will regret it." Ignoring the piper's warning, the mayor and the townspeople laughed off the threat. They thought they had already gotten what they wanted, and they believed that the piper was just a poor, strange man who could do no more harm. But the Pied Piper was not finished. He left the town in anger, promising to return. A few days later he appeared again, this time with a new, haunting melody. He began to play his pipe once more, and this time it was not the rats that followed him, but the children of Hamelin. The children, entranced by the music, began to leave their homes and follow the piper as he walked through the town. The people of Hamelin watched in horror as their children, one by one, walked behind the piper, unable to resist the magic of his music. The piper led them through the gates of the town and up a long, winding path into the mountains. There he disappeared with the children, and they were never seen again. The townspeople searched high and low for their children, but no trace of them was ever found. Some say that the children were taken to a beautiful, enchanted land, while others believe they were lost forever, trapped by the piper's spell. The mayor and the townspeople were filled with regret, but it was too late. They had broken their promise, and in doing so they had paid the price. The town of Hamelin was never the same again. The streets were quiet, the laughter of children gone, and the rats, though gone for a time, would one day return as they always do. And so, the legend of the Pied Piper of Hamelin lives on, a warning to all who would break their promises and ignore the consequences. The Pied Piper, a figure of both magic and vengeance, reminds us that promises must be kept, and that there is always a price to be paid for dishonesty. End. Moral of the story. The Pied Piper of Hamelin teaches us the importance of keeping our promises. Breaking a promise can have far-reaching consequences, and those who fail to honor their word may lose what is most valuable. It also shows that greed and dishonesty can lead to dire outcomes, and that fairness and integrity should guide our actions.